Red Fox Memorial. So it's 1-1 between these two sides. The winner goes on to face the might of Papakura, Peter, and that's probably a daunting task in itself.
Well, Papakura, they backing it up again in 07 from what they achieved in 06. Stumbling at the last hurdle in the grand final, but certainly under the likes of Roger Roder and co, they've really developed out south. But it's the Bulldogs today, and here's a proud club. When you look, the fact that they've had to coexist with so many sort of other central city clubs, and they've been able to stand alone for such a long time, they've achieved some wonderful success.
Stephen Harrison leads out the Glenora Bears for a task they know is going to be a tough one. Both sides having had extra practices this week and both wanting to enjoy the day on a very fine track. A lot of the winter has been played in boggy conditions around the grounds of Auckland, so playing on a hard and fast pitch this afternoon should be a good one. Both coaches very happy with Hayden Price being installed as the referee for this morning's showdown, so we won't be too far away from kickoff.
And that's the appeal of playing finals footy, because you know the weather comes good, you know the track gets hard, and it's when everybody comes out wanting to play football, so you want to be centre stage, you want the people to see you. Now's the time when you get to play football and you get to play your best football.
Mark Passy, you just saw a moment there ago, the skipper for the Glenora Bears. The Bears playing in their blue and white against the maroon and white of the Richmond Bulldogs. The Bulldogs will start this Lion Red Fox semi. Beautiful day in Auckland this morning. Beautiful day, and crowds in early for the sellout day at Mount Smart. Hayden Price gets us underway with a kick from Simon Yeremia and the Lion Red Fox Memorial Finals Week 1. And straight away, strong run from Ivala Ula.
And the style of footy you're going to hear this afternoon will be a little different from what we've perhaps come a little accustomed to seeing in the Premier League. They'll play it at speed, it'll be a little reckless at time, they'll throw their bodies into it. There'll be plenty of mistakes, but one thing's for certain, there'll be no shortage of enthusiasm and intensity.
Ball popped up early by Richmond, so or should I say Glenora, so Richmond on the attack early in this 22 out from the Bears line. They'll try and run them around all day. Speed around the ruck.
Back and hold. Hold. Go.
Marvin France.
You talked about the record between these two and 1-1.
Close to the line already, and a good strong run from the Richmond forward. There's Yeremia again. Oh, shimmy. Nice little shimmy and offload too, but the offload's gone to ground, and it will be Glenora ball again, so early mistakes from both sides.
Yeah, 1-1, and where Richmond has come undone over previous encounters is through their own misgivings, allowing the opposition to come back in. But it's a wonderful day to be sidelined, Costo.
Well, Peter, you know myself, I'm more of an anchor man than a weatherman, but I can tell you that the sun is shining down here at Mount Smart this afternoon, what should be a glorious day for rugby league. 5 minutes ago, I'll give you the tip. The windsock was almost limp, but it has picked up a little, favouring Glenora in the opening stanza.
Well, I notice you've got your jacket off. I hope you've got some zinc down there for your nose as well.
Didn't bring the Akuba, which was a real surprise for Costa when we enter the summer months, as the Bears work their way out of their own half now. Mistakes by both sides early in the half. Listening to their coach, Fumoano, at training early in the week, he wanted 3 men in the tackle by the Bears all day long to make the, or should I say the Bulldogs, to make sure the Bears knew that they were there.
Quicker, 11. 8, 8, 8. Too early, mate.
Fourth tackle. Bears go wide. A little shimmy step and they're away. Now the chip over the top, and there is space too. They're pushing Meke Inusa back. The chase is pretty good from the Glenora Bears. And strong as well. So Richmond stuffed on their line, 12 out from it.
Hold. Go.
Sifo Burke out of dummy half.
Hands on the ball, too.
Held by Mike Taliepa, and too much in the tackle from Taliepa, so penalty goes the way of the Bulldogs. Taliepa, big strong running centre for the Glenora Bears. But it's given the Bulldogs another free run in there. Play this ball 40 out from their own line. Good strong run too from Dave Falafitu, named on the bench but starting. France out of dummy half. Harrison goes high.
8, stop. Wait. 6
And Harrison, the same sort of frame as a Dean Lonergan, just different colour hair.
It's scary, isn't it?
Dino was a big player for the boys out west. And this kid's in the same sort of frame. Tall, lanky, powerful up top and skinny legs.
And sense the shoulder pads as well. So another chance, 2 penalties in a row. France plays it. Big, strong run again. Falafito straight up the middle for the Bulldogs. France again. Finds Logan Wright. Logan Wright held 12 out now from the Bears line. France, Falafito. Fast running now. This is Francis Ledger, part of the Warriors development squad. Pops it out. He finds Sefo Burke. Sefo Burke not held, so the Bulldogs still on tackle 3. Manu Mao. Stopped and ball lost. And away come the Glenora Bears. Willing to spin it wide early.
It's been noticeable in the opening exchanges. The Westies often shifting it to the edges, looking to get on the outside. The Bulldogs, on the other hand, find so easy to be able to come up from one end of the field and come off their own line, get up into the territory they want, and they get exactly what they want through an error by Glenora.
Costly error by the Glenora Bears, and they've handed Richmond the ball back about 15 out from their own line. Looking to spin it early. Unable to hold it. Have to say that's probably a gimme catch.
Well, sometimes when you're within the 5 minutes, it's important you establish yourself rather than looking to go wide.
Ledger beats one, beats two, try! And the Bulldogs strike first through Francis Ledger.
And you pay the price. You come up with an error on your 15-metre zone. And a side like Richmond have already shown how easy it is to make metres. Plenty of speed, plenty of willing runners with the football. And here from the scrum, they're positioned to be able to go either side. They go to the left-hand side, and just the ability to hold the ball in hand. All too easy.
Some indecision in the Bears defensive line. Stephen Carroll getting caught out, and just Francis Ledger too quick. And obviously a talent that the Warriors have defined as being part of their development squad.
Well, there's plenty of young talent coming through, and that's what's so exciting, I think, with the fact that the Foxes coming back and could very well be considered to be the marquee event going forward in 08. Those who want to go on and be part of the professional game, well, this is going to be your doorway. The way it used to be, it's good to see it coming back.
Francis Ledger from a proud rugby league school in St Paul's. A lot of St Paul's and Mags boys. That's Mount Abbott Grammar boys in this Richmond side, and they'll be loving the fact that some of their old boys are on the tally this morning.
Well, and that's what makes Richmond so special as well. It has a very strong sort of catchment area, particularly when you look at schools. St Paul's being one of those. Mags is the other big one. Avondale starting to creep in. And you look at the likes of Stacey Jones, part of the Wembley Challenge last night. Well, not quite sure if he's getting this live over there in the Northern Hemisphere, maybe through Sky BSB or something.
Yetamir to add the extras, 20 out, and will push it wide. So first blood goes to the favourites going into this Lion Red Fox Memorial. The Richmond Bulldogs with the early start. After 7 minutes, they lead Glenora 4-0.
A nice little scrum base play here, shifting it to the left-hand side. Ledger just good feet, putting the ball in hand, and just the defensive line guilty, perhaps not just moving and allowing him the space and time to do it. It's also a good opportunity with the Bulldogs playing today with Steve Matai in town. Gets an opportunity to look at his old club as well.
I read too that Steve Matai might not be playing for the Seagulls this afternoon. Just coming over to have a bit of break and catch up with family. I wonder if Desi has this playing hocus pocus again. We restart now in this Fox game.
You're pulling out all the new names on me.
Brendan Douglas.
Hocus, hocus, pocus, tanking.
Oh, big strong run once again.
And that's what I'm talking about when you play Richmond on a hard track. They're big and they're fast, and once they get them speed up, and also with the try now that they've just scored, you watch how they keep rolling. Glenora need to get in and sit them down.
Logan Wright, what a strong run as he finds the other front rower and Dave Falafito. And suddenly the Bulldogs are inside the Glenora half very, very quickly. There's Aaron Nutai. Offloaded it to Mao. Mao keeps going, quick play the ball, finds Francis Ledger, the try scorer. Glenora just hanging off tackles as Richmond start to pump their legs and push their way forward to the try line. Fifth and last now. They're 12 out from the Bears line. There's Marvin France. He finds Nutai. They go wide and they've got numbers as well. Here come the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs are in, are they? Corner post is gone. Let's see what happens. And try given, and that should go to Dwayne Pickering out on the right wing. Started with a big, strong run from Logan Wright, and the Bulldogs are on fire.
Yeah, that bust by Logan Wright, that's where it all started, and the Glenora side never fully recovered on the back end of us. He took it straight up the middle, he pulled them all in, and then their structures just went totally out the window. Defensively, they never were able to get back and give themselves a line. Look at the far right and look at the numbers game. You got 4-1. Then it was a case of just catch and pass. Question about whether that last pass was forward. You don't get the video replay. Richmond, try number 2.
Pass from Simon Yeremia, the cutout ball, and found the players out on the right. Really nicely done. And look at that, just simple as that. Got it down quickly before the Glenora defender came across, and Dwayne Pickering gets try number 2, but makes it another tough one for Simon Yeremia. And that Pickering name, a very famous name in the game of rugby league when you think of James Pickering, who had stints with the Bulldogs, I think.
And also some ominous signs right now for Glenora. To be able to stay in this game, they're going to be able to have to put the numbers into the tackle. They're going to need to find something, which is about taking the speed off the ground out of the Bulldogs.
Yeremia from the eastern touchline strikes it well, 21 out, and gets it this time. So a tougher kick right on the touchline, and Simon Yeremia adds the extras. After 10, it's 10-0, a point a minute, and the Bulldogs are in charge, Costo.
Absolutely, not looking too good for the Bears, but on the back of some great forward play from that restart, wasn't it? And the finish as they spread it. Ray Ely, he was involved nicely, and he kept it going. Just on the try scorer, Pickering, well, James Pickering, just to bring everybody up to date, not wanted at Bondi Junction next season. That's right, on the coaching staff to Chris Anderson this year. Adrian Lamb's coming back to town. Brad Fittler's in charge. Pickering not required for next season.
Mate, when you talk about James Pickering, just go and knock a bit of concrete, because that's how tough that kid was.
Boy, he was a good forward. Here come the Dogs again. They've got sting in their tail now. And so Glenora finally realised they've got to get this one. It's a strong defensive effort. Good, strong defence from the Bears.
And that's what they need, effort on effort. They've got to be able to respond.
Falafuto will play the ball.
It's been a long time since we've heard the Bulldog bite call, made famous by the Solomona family. We look forward to hearing that chant go up at the back end.
Beautiful pop ball from Maui, finds Francis Ledger, but Francis Ledger has handed it off to the Glenora Bears and given them the ball in good field position just inside their own half. Now a chance for the Bears to respond, but their pack is all bunched on the western touchline as Thomas Tu'umanga will play the ball inside the Richmond half.
Yeah, they're making it difficult for themselves, Glenora.
John.
The numbers are all stacked on the short side. It's obvious there's only one way they're going to go, but this will help.
John Clark and trying to work himself into play the ball, but penalty given away by Alan Leo, at Mafolo Timaloa. And so a chance now for the Bears to get themselves on the board and get themselves back into this game. Traditionally in the Fox this season, slow starters the Bears. So have the Bears got some bite? Because we've seen that from the Bulldogs already. John Clark will play the ball. Quick play being required. Straightens it up. Luke Longopati, dummy half. They go wide, trying to stretch them. Ball goes down, so raid fails for the Glenora Bears.
It was unfortunate because the plan was right and they were running the right lines. He was looking to straighten it up as they were sort of crabbing across the left-hand side. Unfortunately, just not being able to take the ball, but everything about what they were wanting to do was right. It was spot on. It was just that last play.
Yeah, it was passing to Taliepa, and Taliepa not able to hold it, so the two centres just getting the timing off. It was a bit like that in the early part of the Challenge Cup final this morning with the Dragons, the centre pairing unable to just make it work as Richmond now work themselves out from their own line. They look pretty strong around dummy half too.
How lucky has Stacey Jones been to play on this side and then get the option to go over there and play not only the Wembley Challenge Cup final, but the reopening of Wembley as a stadium, the refurbished Wembley.
France finds Mao. Mao just rumbles his way across the 40-metre line for the Bulldogs. France waiting at dummy half. Finds Simon Yeremia. Yeremia goes to the boot. He's going to make Thomas Tu'umanga work for this. Bounces kind to him.
Oh, wonderful chase team. Great effort. They were up there. There was 4-5. It was a nice line that spread, stopped them from being able to pick them on the edges. And they back it up with even more.
The Bears with work to do. A little bit of cloud coming across and taking the sun away from the ground. It's quite a cool morning too. John Clarkin always plays in the 14 shirt. Not his favourite number, just the one that fits him. Pop ball out. They come right now. Inside now. Ball almost lost by Glenora, but they hang on to it. There's Luke Longopati. They switch it. Come back the short side. Go to toe. But the fullback is there for the Richmond Bulldogs, and Mickey Unasa looking pretty comfortable with that as well. Nutai. He'll find Sefo Burke. Sefo Burke is thrown to the ground by the Bears. Yeremia in a dummy half. You almost sense that the Bulldogs are just trying to work them over slowly on attack. Finding where the holes are. Bulldogs into enemy territory. Logan Wright will play the ball. Marvin France with a scurry out of dummy half and kicks through into a strong chase too. Tuamunga's up to it, but an extremely good chase from the Richmond Bulldogs again. So all the pressure going on them. That chase was from Alan Leo.
Oh, what about that for a hit? The most impressive part over the last 5-odd minutes has been the chasing team. You talk about playing at this time of the year, and we touched on in terms of enthusiasm and intensity. Well, there's no shortage of that coming out of the Bulldogs. And the best example of that is how you put yourself in a position to chase on the back of a kick. Glenora looking to get out of their red zone.
Stephen Harrison felt that tackle, gets up a little slowly from it. And they go to the boot on tackle 4. This time Unasa doesn't judge it, but gets the bounce and picks it up. Not a bad chase from the Bears, but they are trailing by 10 after almost 16 minutes in this Lion Red Fox matches. Sefo Burke tries to work the short side. Unasa in it, dummy half. The big boy's starting to walk already. Maybe it's warmer. How warm is it down there, Costo?
Hang on, he's just got to put his shirt back on before he talks to us.
I think he's dropped his notes at the same time. Is it warm?
It's that warm. I've just gone to get the swimming togs, actually.
Thank you for that.
I wondered what those Speedos were.
That's not a pretty sight, I can tell you.
They're a bit baggy.
I can concur with that.
Yeremia with the big up and under. To Umunga, there's a good chase too. Nutai's there. Also Francis Ledger. Ball's gone down, and it's knock on Glenora Bears. Bulldogs getting more ball, and they'll get it in a handy position, but it looks like one of the the Richmond players has come off second best from taking his own teammate out.
I'll find out.
Oh, yep. There you go, Pete. You'd remember days like that, wouldn't you? You never bled, right? It's Francis Ledger, and then Aaron Nutai and his teammate in Sefo Burke coming off second best.
They're so brave, I reckon, footballers. Huge amount of courage.
You giving yourself a rap?
No. Mate, I'm talking about a lifetime ago. I'm talking about kids right now that with no regard whatsoever for your own safety. There's a good chase team there, and we've seen them doing it. But they just get in there and they just rip in.
So it looks like Sefo Burke will come off, and if I'm correct, Jesse Bromwich in the 16, big unit 2 from James Cook High, will go on for the Bulldogs.
And we continue to be fed information here as the Bulldogs get the opportunity from a scrum.
I told you I'll blow the whistle when it goes in.
Well, referee said keep play to the whistle as Mickey Unasa steps and carries that ball to the 10-metre line. Bulldogs on attack, hot on attack too, leading 10-0. The Bears' defence is going to have to be up to it. Otherwise, they're going to get played out of this game. Yeremia again. There's Jesse Bromwich.
Straight. Release him now.
France finds Logan Wright. Is that Logan Wright? He's hit the line. I heard someone say yes on the sideline. Yes, he has.
And a nice touch by the hooker as well, France. He picked a nice little angle. His service coming out of the acting half so far has been good. Nice and selective. Plenty of speed.
Might be a costly try, though, for Logan Wright, holding that right arm, the one he stretched out. Let's look at it again. Good little run out of dummy half by France, and then steps off his right. Does Logan Wright.
It's a nice combination of skill. He takes the angle, holds it long enough to commit the defenders to come off the line, and then a nice little change coming against the grain. And good effort to stretch over. Just on the back, on the left-hand shoulder there of Harrison. And so much. Logan Wright holding the left-hand shoulder, or the right hand, sorry.
So maybe a little collateral damage in the early parts. I think it was Dwayne Pickering that was off getting that head knock sorted after his collision. And now Simon Yeramita with a much better kick. Of the 3 tries scored, this would be the better conversion attempt for him. He's about 15 out, about 15 in from the eastern touchline. Yeramia approaches and just quietly chips that one over to add the extra points for the Richmond Bulldogs, who are truly in charge right now. After 19 minutes, it's 16-0 Richmond. Let's go sideline and check out the Medicab.
Stephen Young-Burke is being bandaged up as we speak by the trainer with the Bulldogs. They expect him to be back. I'll just check on Wright, but he's not looking too good as we saw a moment ago.
Thank you, Doc. Costo doing the honours sideline for us as he prepares himself for the big game, the Warriors and the Seagulls later on this afternoon. There it is, Sefo Burke holding that right arm. Could be a shoulder, could be something. I'm sure the Doc will find out.
Something in the arm.
There's something in the arm. They always go for the second opinion as the...
There's something in the air tonight.
Bears restart. Thank you, Phil Collins. Yeah. Oh, the 80s were great for music, weren't they?
I'll tell you what, though, the Glenora side, they need to get their hand on the ball. At the moment, they're doing all the work, and it's starting to take a toll when you're chasing a 16-point deficit. 74% all in favour of the Richmond side. All the defensive work, 60-odd tackles, Glenora. And when you get your first sort of entry into summer, you know, and it gets up to around that 15, 16 degrees, it's a little bit tougher and it's a lot more noticeable.
Lots of running being done by the Richmond Bulldogs as Alan Leo will play this on the 40-metre line. Marvin France in a dummy half, likes the short side. Finds Manu Mao, and Manu Mao keeps going. Taken down, wants to get up.
And Richmond sides in this frame of mind when they know they can run and they've got everything going their way, they're hard to stop.
The chase team once again good, but Tuomonga beats the first one, loses the ball. It's been picked up by Alan Leo. And penalty.
Oh, at first glance, a little harsh.
Mr. Price says knock the ball out. You heard him. So,
so now you've got the referee moves in front of me now as well. What, you're raising your arm?
Tackle was complete and he knocked the ball out.
Just listening to the referee.
Ball behind you.
Would not want to disagree with the referee too many times. Here it is here. Tuomo goes back. Gets up to play the ball and Mao is popped for pinging it out. In front of us. There you go. Don't even have to wave my arms, but Richmond have got the ball back.
No, they haven't. Yes, they have.
No wait, no quick.
Well, it's a big day for the referee as well. He gets to play in front of a big crowd. So a couple of moments, I guess, of getting a little excitable.
A crowd that is building towards the game. The southern stand really starting to build up quickly for the main event as Marvin France plays the ball and straight off to Dave Falafito is knocked to the ground. 13 out from the Bears line. Dogs on the run again. Yeramia. Short ball inside. That'll find Quincy Ikifana. Ikifana with France. Here's Falafito. Good strong run two again. Francis Ledger starting to point things around as Mickey Onasa. There's Francis Ledger scored the first try. There's Mao, who's been all over the place and all over the place indeed because he's thrown it to the Glenora Bears and they'll get the ball back. Bears have struggled to get out of their half. Ball dropped again, but it's play on.
Well, the key to this side, as they look to come out of the 20, is to go back to simple. Find some simplicity in their play, and that's about coming out of the acting half. Start to compete, start to challenge the Bulldog defence, make them come into the middle. Look to tire them, but keep it simple.
Stephen Harrison takes the ball, makes some good yards. He's over the 30-metre line, but they're still in their own half on tackle 4. Tangata Reale has the ball. He's played the ball back. They kick inside their own half. It's a good, strong kick, too, over the back of Meki Unas, who shows great hands.
There was a nice appeal by him as well as he got up to play the ball, because the one thing that Richmond are doing is taking the speed out of the play the ball. They've got to be able to get on a roll. They've got to be able to find a retreating defensive line.
Nutai beats 1, doesn't beat 2 and 3 and 4 right there. Richmond Plaid. Good little dabbing runs. They really are a much stronger side, it would seem, at this early point around the dummy half area, the Bulldogs.
Well, they just play through them in the middle and set themselves up. They've got plenty of offloads.
On halfway, Bromwich plays the ball, finds Marvin France, finds Bromwich again. Bromwich, a little dummy, was looking for Alan Leo. It's play on.
Oh, how good was that? How good were the hands? The ball went, it was a pass around the body, then picked up off his bootlaces. A wonderful play.
Yetamir with the toe through. He's got Francis Ledger chasing. Almost a bit of an upset in the mix-up in the back for the Glenora Bears, but they snuffed that attack out safely and will play it about 5 out from their own line.
Barometer when you look at the two sides, an indicator of which is perhaps dominating is look at the number of times they have to come off their own goal line. This is perhaps the 3rd time in about as many minutes that we're seeing Glenora trying to bust out of their own half.
Tangata Reale looking to appeal to the referee, saying, come on, ref, let's get up and play this game. The Bears desperate to get points on the board. Good strong run by their 5'8", Aaron Booth, and away he goes. Puts the toe, he's got runners down the left-hand side. It's 2 on 1, 3 on 1. And that ball hasn't made touch, and looks like the Bears will get first points to their fullback Thomas Tuomunga. Are the Bears on the board? Yes, they are.
You go back to that nice little play by Aaron Booth. They did some simple stuff coming out of their own half, but then they need an injection of pace and a bit of speed, and also a huge amount of determination to be able to bust through the tackle. Goes to the left-hand side. He takes him on for the first time and has a crack at it. And it was here when you think it's all but done. He puts it to toe, and plenty of chases on the back end of it. And how unfortunate sometimes the bounce of the ball, you'll sit back and look back, and it fell out the backside, and he just picked it up and got the try.
So the Glenora Bears finally get on the scoreboard. Strong run by Aaron Booth, looking left and right. Finally saw what he had on the left-hand side, and he had 3 runners. 2 of them get there in the end, and the one that picks it up off the inability by Richmond to stop the ball, and Thomas Tuomunga scores the first 4-pointer for the Glenora Bears, and hopefully for them, not their last for the day.
Well, they'll take a huge amount out of that try. The fact that so much of the stats in 25 minutes of footy all favour Richmond. You look at the dominance in terms of the running meters, something like about 500 up to about 100 for Glenora. Defensively, they're doing all the work. They're coming out of the red zone, and they're on the scoreboard.
But from a handy position, Brendan Douglas, their vice-captain, misses. So this is the situation in Lion Red Fox final footy at Mount Smart. It's 16-4 after 26. The Bulldogs still lead by a handy margin, but suddenly the Glenora Bears may have found their feet.
Yes, timely try there to Thomas Tuomunga. Just quietly, he actually had some problems coming into the game here today. Well, he'd been bitten down by some bug. Apparently he had glandular fever earlier in the week, and the New Zealand tag rep, though, coming through with flying colours.